Philadelphia Flyers down south for a night as they wrap up a 4-game road swing. Quick trip here to play the Carolina Hurricanes. Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Smith along with Tim Saunders. Welcome to today's Flyers Game Day Preview. Flyers have been on the road for a week, but they came home for a couple days after the Carolina trip, and a quick down and back here to play the Carolina Hurricanes before heading home for a pair of home games this week. And Timmy, 2 in a row here for the Flyers in California. And you guys mentioned it on the air, and John Tortorella talked about playing patient in those 2 games, and that's probably something they want to continue tonight.
Well, go figure. You lose to the one team on that road trip that didn't have a win, and you beat the better 2 teams. They've talked so much about getting to the net, getting pucks and bodies to the net. Yeah, they play patient, but they're getting to the right areas on the ice, and it showed itself with 10 goals scored in the last 2 games. So that's what they got to try to continue against a Carolina team that hasn't lost yet this year at home. They're the only perfect record in the NHL in their own building.
1 game already in the books between these 2 clubs this year, and it was a game back in Philadelphia that the Flyers looked pretty good against the Hurricanes back in the early days of the season, but obviously Carolina was able to find an extra gear.
Yeah, and the biggest difference between these 2 clubs right now is the power play. I mean, it's the elephant in the room. The Flyers are 0 for now 26. They're still trying to figure that out. Meanwhile, the Canes have gotten hot again, and it's because of their power play. They're 30% with a man advantage over the last 7 games. So that'll be the interesting contrast tonight. Hopefully the Flyers can build on. I think their last power play chance in L.A. was pretty good. Had a couple of great looks. Tyson Forster, it's just a matter of time before he starts putting the puck in the net, and hopefully tonight's the night they get it going.
Had a chance before the game tonight to catch up with some of the players and head coach John Tortorella to talk about the contest.
Patience isn't meaning being defensive or slow. We want to get on the attack, but we just can't try to grab something that isn't there. We can't get sloppy as pushing the pace too much at certain times. So it's momentums of games, understanding situational play in the games. When things are going good, not to get too high with it, and when you're struggling in some minutes of it, just stay within ourselves. So it's a very broad definition of patience, and I think that's what we want to become. I think that's a huge part of winning in this league.
Yeah, I think our starts were a lot better. Those final 2 games of the road trip, I felt like obviously when you get the lead to start, it definitely helps. And when you're playing good teams, getting the lead is really important. So start's really important, and so we just got to be ready to go against a really good team in our division here.
So after a few days under the weather, Carter Hart is good to go, and we're looking to see him tonight, and we'll see what else happens on the defensive side.
Yeah, they're getting closer to being fully healthy. Ristolainen and Mark Stahl are both on the trip. That's an encouraging sign. Didn't look like either one was ready to play, which means Yegor Zamula has to come back in. Bobby Brink was a healthy scratch against the Kings in L.A. on Saturday. There's still some question whether Torts is going to stick with the lineup that was so good against the Kings or get Bobby Brink back in. Good to see Carter Hart, though, because he's the guy they're going to have to ride, and it's been a little while since he's been in there.
So one last game here on this road swing, Flyers and the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. It is a national telecast on TNT starting at 7:30 tonight. Of course, Timmy and Fridge will have the radio call for you on 93.3 WMMR tonight. So we hope to have you along with us as the Flyers take on the Carolina Hurricanes.